And the American Lung Association says the federal government is not getting the job done when it comes to protecting kids from e-cigarettes. According to the Lung Association, nearly 21% of all high school students use e-cigarettes, and that there was a 78% increase among high school students in e-cigarette use in 2017 and 2018.
But the good news, there's now a simple way to see if your children are vaping. And Scott Betts joins us to explain.
Good
Morning, Scott. Welcome. Glad to have you here.
Thanks.
First and foremost, a lot of parents, a lot of people as a whole may be wondering, why do kids, many, like vaping to begin with?
Well, vaping is actually a lot easier to hide from your parents. Cigarettes were.
Why? There's no smell, or?
There is a smell, but it's just a small little thing that you can hide.
Right.
Gotcha.
Some of them actually have it's all built in one little thing. They can get it into school easier.
Gotcha.
There's no matches. There's no nothing. You just recharge it and refill it.
What about the taste? Does it taste better for some than tobacco, or what?
Yeah, absolutely, and they have all sorts of flavors that they say they're not marketing it to kids, but the flavors are bubble gum and cotton candy and stuff like that.
Gotcha. And I'm sure that some people feel like it's safer, right? But there are studies that show what?
Well, they show that the issue is that you can actually get any dosage of nicotine you want in those things. So, like, whereas one cigarette might have just some fixed amount,
right?
The vaping, it can have either no nicotine or a large amount.
So perhaps you can get more of a nicotine buzz from vaping?
And it's a lot easier.
And once you start down that road, your body's going to want more.
It's a lot easier for children to get addicted to nicotine because their bodies are still developing.
Makes sense.
So it's not just nicotine, but anything.
So there are also some chemicals in these. How do the tests work? Number one, do they require blood? How does all that work? So
we've got any lab test now. We've got a urine test, a blood test, or a hair test.
Okay.
And those work differently based on what time period you may want to look into. If you think your kid might lay off this vaping or whatever for a few days, you can get a hair test, and that shows up for a much longer period.
Gotcha.
And so we offer, like, a blood test is $60, a urine test is $50, and then the hair test is a little bit more difficult. It's $120.
Right. So, Scott, has this just started, and are a lot of people already beginning to take advantage of this?
There's nationwide, there's a big interest in trying to get on top of this type of thing before your kids get too addicted.
Sure.
Any step to halt them from going down a path of addiction is something you want to move forward on.
Absolutely. So what about privacy concerns?
So at any lab test now, all of your tests, you own them. So, like, if a parent brought in their child, they could even give an anonymous name. They wouldn't have to. They own the results. So they don't go anywhere. They're yours to have.
So there's like HIPAA laws. Do they?
So those results just don't get released back to say any organization because they're yours.
Gotcha. Right. And my aunt couldn't call in.
No, she could not.
Even a relative couldn't.
So, Scott, what else is helping in your fight these days? I know the U.S. Surgeon General has also weighed in, calling this vaping an epidemic. Does that help send the message home to a lot of people, even just a little bit?
I think that it does. I think it's always good whenever you have a regulatory body kind of come out and say, this thing is actually hurting our children.
Yeah.
And it gives parents there's a lot of fights for parents to fight, and it's good to know where to try to focus some of their attention, you know.
And I'm assuming you have other tests as well in case we're talking about harder substances.
So any lab test now is all about taking your health into your own hands.
Gotcha.
And so you can come in without any sort of doctor's note or prescription and get any sort of test you want. You can see what your A1C is, or you can see if your child is on nicotine or actually any other types of drugs and things like that.
Good to know.
All right, Scott, thank you very much. We appreciate you being here.
No problem. Thank you.
Good to see you.